This channel actually started with Marvel wall art, and with the huge rise of Marvel movies, there are loads of fun light up logos you could make, but they are not cheap. You can easily spend over £100 on one. I came across this idea after watching one of Rare Craftsman's videos. He really inspired me with this one. I'll put a link down below for him. So I'm gonna save some money and show you how to make this. For mere pennies. It's a fun, affordable, and will make a great gift too. Let's get started. To start off with, I found a copy of the logo online, and then I blew it up across these 6 pieces of paper, and I'm just cutting and joining them up to make the template. Selected a load of pallet wood. It all came from the same pallet, so it's all the same thickness. And now I am trimming up each side of the board so they can be glued together to make a nice tight join. And then when I sorted them out and got to the pattern I liked, I then glued all of them together, using a silicone spludger here to smooth out the glue. Throw a couple of clamps on here, and then I left this overnight to dry. It's the next day, now it's dry. I am now lining up the template and trying to make sure all the nail holes are right on the edge, so then they'll be covered up so they won't be on show in the final product. And I'm trying to do this with limited tools, so I'm showing that you can build this sign with just using a jigsaw. Annoyingly, the pallet broke here at the end, so I'm going to have to glue that piece back on in a minute. But first, I quickly hit it with a sander to smooth, and then I glued this back on. So again, I'm going to have to leave this overnight to dry. Just wiping off any glue spilled out. Now we're in the next day, and I will just trim this off. And now I need to make another one of these, so I use the rest of the glue up wood to make another one and just use it as a template. Cut that one out, and again hit it with the belt sander. Then I moved on to the flat disc in a angle grinder, which made quick work of the wood, and then moved to oval sander to finish it off. Now it's time to cut up the template. Now trying to find a good spot to the angle I like. In hindsight, I think I should have had the lines going diagonal, matching the lightning bolt, but oh well. Drilling a couple holes in to make it easier to get a jigsaw in there. Would have been nice to try and keep this hole cut out, so I could have turned it into another sign. And now I'm just going around all the way around the outside until both sections fall off. I'm using the blocks to support. Now moving on to get at the outer bit of the frame. Now look at that, all laid up on the backer. And I thought, now because I want to put lights in it, I'm going to have to raise it up, give room for the LEDs to go in. So now I'm just working out roughly where these bits would actually sit, and then draw around them, so I knew what areas I needed to fill with wood. I was just using scraps that I had from the big glue up we did earlier to make these. Which didn't take too long to work out. Again, still using the jigsaw to cut out. Just drawing it on, cutting it out, and trimming it where it needs trimming. It just got a bit more awkward when it got to the smaller pieces. As you can see, like there, I'm just deciding I should trim a little bit more off of that one. Then now just cut a little bit out for that bit in the middle. There you go, and that is nicely raised up. Now I'm going to start gluing these down. So I drew around them to help with the lineup, and then I just glued them down. And did the same on the other side. I did also countersink the holes. We don't want any screws sticking out. Now I decided I should probably raise the outside up as well. So I grabbed a slat and then I just drew around it and just used the same slat to go around the whole piece of wood. And just kept cutting them. So I glued them in 2 batches. Also, to strengthen this up, I made sure that the join lines weren't in the same places on all the slats of wood. Let that dry, and then I moved on and did some more next day, and now this is taking them all off after finishing. As you can see, it's a little bit rough, so I will have to now go back and trim what I can off. Started by trimming all the inside out, just going around until we can follow the edge of the wood and trimming off any excess needed. Then I grabbed the sander and then moved on to the angle grinder again. And when I was happy with that, I lined everything up and then glued it to the back, trying to make sure it matched the angles of the slats from the middle pieces as well, so they all aligned. Look at that, it's starting to take some shape now. Getting a bit bulky. So now the next thing is to cut all the excess off. So I did exactly the same thing I did with the inside. Went around the outside and trimmed what I can off. If anything sticking out, which now give it a nice circle look. And then I also had to go from the front as well because of the same thing. And then I finished it off with the flat disc again and the angle grinder. I took it outside this time because it got a bit dusty last time. As soon as I was happy with that, I got the blowtorch out. And then I started burning everything that I could on the inside. I didn't really touch the bit in the middle or hold the center design up in the air. Getting it all nice and toasty. Now I'm doing straight the outside as well. I've done this sort of finish quite a few times with a lot of my older videos, and it was nice to bring this finish back again. And now that's done, I will be moving on to do the centerpieces. Something about charring wood that's quite satisfying, especially when you see all the wood grain. Now that I'm happy that it's had a nice good charring all over, you then move over to the whatever the attachment's called, brush attachment for the drill. I brushed all this off. As you can see, my son thought it'd be hilarious to work with the water pistol as well, so he got me inside there before I started doing this. It's a nice effect. The brush removes all the soft wood tissue and leaves just the harder wood rings, which then dark, and then the bit you remove is lighter, so it gives it a nice cool effect. So this is a Japanese finish. Now we're moving on to staining. I wanted to try and make this looking like the Thunderbolts colour they're using at the moment. So after a lot of mixing and adding of the yellow and the orange and some white, and then I had a little bit of blue towards the end just to change the colour up, I get to the sort of colour I want. Mix it in some water, about 50-50. Next thing I use is a sponge to apply the finish, and then I'll start putting it out, and I think the colour is perfect for what I was looking for. Put it on now, because then it mixes with the orangey colour, mixes with the charcoal colour of the wood, which makes it a nice sort of this darker yellow colour. And then I left it to dry, and you get this sort of powdery yellow colour, which again I thought was perfect colouring. So then I grabbed a sponge and started rubbing around to remove what I can to show the rings. I couldn't remember what I normally use for doing this, that's why I used a sponge. But now after I thought about it, it's wire wool what I would normally use. And that's kind of giving it a nice yellow colour, which I think is very similar to the Thunderbolts colour that they're using in the new film. And here's a quick glance of it with the rest of the sign in place. And now going around and re-cleaning any of the sides. Just for as a finish, I'm going to use some of Rustlin's dry paraffin varnish. This stuff's great. I got given it in a competition with Rustlin's last year, and it's war based and it comes out great. And then as soon as I put the coat on, I thought the colour looked pretty good. Yes, it's slightly a bit more orangey than it was, but I thought the outcome looks really nice. And then it dried and it went a bit more orangey. Not quite the colour I was looking for, but I'm still happy with it. So that first coat I only did the colour, because the colour bleeds when coating the varnish on this is why I did it in 2 stages, because I didn't want to get it mixed up on top of the black. I started off by doing just the back, let that dry, and now I'm doing a coat over the whole piece. And good, and now I've moved on to the centre bits. You have to let me know in the comments below what you think of this, and I think this whole process is great. What a great effect it leaves in the wood. Now I'm getting ready to put some LEDs in, so I'm just getting some wire cuts. I drill 2 holes through so I can join the 2 lights together, because there's going to be 2 islands worth of lights. So making sure the hole's big enough, and then I push this LED one through to check that it's long enough. Some of these are recycled from my old sign, and some of it's new, so I've got the soldering iron out here. Just tinning up the cables now. Just tinning the pads on the LEDs to make it easier to attach the cables to. And then I join the 2 cables to it. Now I have time to run them around the whole light. My understanding of this is that I can't cut here. It has to be cut at where these copper parts are showing. So we need to try and work out how we're going to include that in here. So it might be we make that a little bit or like that. Might be able to tuck it in there. So this one's recycled, or it's been used, but this is the new stuff which is off the same roll. This is just out of an old sign that is no longer used. So I think we will start off by sticking this on, and then we put a few blobs of hot glue as we go around. And just realised as soon as I took the tape off the back that I haven't mounted a gap for the cable to go in the back. So we flip this over, grab the router and routed out a line. Wasn't very straight, but it did the job. And made sure the 2 entry points was a bit of gap there. Now I'm sticking the LEDs round and seeing how the adhesive, it just isn't working. So like I said before, I'm going to use the hot glue gun, hold it in place, and then I'll slowly go around. Doing the job. And there, that's the first one done. I'm to move on to the second one. Now I've got them through, I'm going to want to cut these down as short as I can get them, but not to compromise on being able to actually solder them together. So I want to say we want to solder about here. It's been a while since I've done any soldering, so it's quite nice to get the solder line back out. So we will tin these. All the ends of the little arrows on is currently connected to blue, so that's what we're going to have to make sure we connect this side. And what we will do is we will fold this down, move this into place. Now we're hot gluing the other side down. Thing of hot glue that you've got to be careful not to burn your fingers. And then, yeah, all the way around. Now it's time to join the LEDs to the driver. Originally twisted these together and soldered them, which isn't the best method to do. So I got them red then done and then desoldered the blue and lined them back up again and then redid them. Before I started soldering, I slid on 2 bits of heat shrink. So now I'm putting the heat shrink back over the join, and then I will heat it up after I've double checked that this works. So I quickly attach it to a bit of cable. As it worked, I put a bit more hot glue into the join and taped the cable down on the back. Now I'm drilling a few holes that I will use to screw the front on, and I'm just sticking the template down to help try and line up the angle. Then when I was happy, I used some hot glue just to hold it into place. And then when I was happy that had gone off, I will turn it upside down and countersink the hole and put some screws in. Just heating up the heat shrink now, got that done. Testing it, everything still works again. And it does. Now I'm putting on the hook. It's now finished. What do you think? Come out great. Obviously I was going for a bit more of the yellowy colour like they do have in the Thunderbolts, but I'm happy with it. What are they called, the new Avengers now? Let me know what you think of these. I can't believe the one I saw online, they were wanting £116 for it, for 40 by 40 centimetre. This is 50 by 50 centimetre. Maybe sell it for about £80. You could make some serious money from that. You think that it was just made out of some pallet slats. So, you saw me add lights to it. Should we see what this looks like in the dark, lit up? That has come out great. There you go. There's all 3 lit up. What do you think? Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you think I should attempt another Marvel logo sign, and I'll see you on the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll enjoy this video too. I'll put a link to it right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.